Alright, quick update on ApeCoin. Let's start off with the momentum indicators and see what's going on in the lower time frames. Now, in the 4 hour, coming over to daily to start with, I want to see if we've made a lower high. And as you can see, another day, another lower high for ApeCoin. So, in my opinion, the downtrend is, very much indisputable. We were all the way up here at 1377. The next high we had was down here at 1236. Retesting this breakdown of this head and shoulders pattern on ApeCoin. The next high we put in, was this today? Yeah, the next high we put in today was only up to $12.10. So looking at the momentum indicators, it seems like momentum has already started to shift to the downside. Now, for the past week, I've really had this price target down here at 968. If you've been watching my ApeCoin videos, I highlighted the market structure. I had a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we got bearish on ApeCoin when we came back down and backtested the lows because, in my opinion, we were invalidating the market structure. We came down, made a head and shoulders. I told you I was out. We exited the market for ApeCoin at $12.35 approximately. This was a profit of 69% since we entered. When I made my first ApeCoin video on Coinbase, we entered on the Coinbase listing, took profit at a 69% trade, and since then we have started to head down. So, we've head down very strongly. But we're only a tiny bit down from, where I initially sold. Like, we keep on having these very strong bounces, even though we're down, 8% or so. But I would just like to highlight, these are still lower highs in the market structure. Now, don't throw rocks through my window. I am a big fan of ApeCoin in the long term. I think this will do well in the long term. I'm a fan of Yuga Labs. I think the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT project is a good one. I do think that will go up in tandem with ApeCoin. But nonetheless, looking at this market structure objectively, we're heading down. We've come up today. We've backtested our macro 618 Fibonacci. And I say macro, but we're looking at this on the 4 hour. This has really only been out since the 17th of March. So we've got to deal with what we got to deal with. This is the most macro fib that we can even run off. Obviously, this would be all the way out here, but I just like to tuck them away to the side and just hover over the price targets. Nonetheless, 618, 1150, we backtested it today. Another rejection. If we look at the 4 hour, you can see we're currently stuck in these EMA ribbons, and I have to assume that we're going to start to head down with this momentum starting to pick up to the downside. It is not just ApeCoin, it is also Bitcoin. I will get into that in a minute, but looking at the market structure on the daily for ApeCoin, we don't have too much in terms of squeeze momentum indicator. We can't do any analysis on that yet, unfortunately. We also haven't loaded EMA ribbons. It has not been out for a long enough time, so we do have to focus the majority of our analysis, if not all of our analysis, on the 4 hour. Unfortunately, I do like looking at larger time frames, but unfortunately we've got to deal with what we've got to deal with. So if you're wondering, where do I get bullish on ApeCoin? If we have a reversal, if I'm wrong, and we never come down to my price target at 969, where do I think that the market breaks back bullish? Now, personally for me, it's a range, and I'm a conservative trader, so I'm going to go for, the top of this range. The number one region we need to break above is this local high up here, but more specifically, the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. And you can see this neckline is very perfectly cemented as a horizontal resistance at the $12.35. In my opinion, that is going to be a very hard level to get above. You can see we ran into it the other day. We ran into the 618 today, and we keep on bashing into this upper trend line. Like, I mean, it's starting to look, relatively decent in the very short term, but looking at the more mid-term, I mean, this market structure is still in place to the downside, so I can't get bullish until it's been invalidated. And once again, your upper trend line up here, you've got a horizontal line right here at the 0.5 Fibonacci. Now, I would be willing to admit I was wrong and, potentially not enter back on ApeCoin because I would not buy my bags back for more expensive. But I'd be willing to flip my bearish stance on ApeCoin once we break above the 0.5 Fibonacci. The reason why I think the 0.5 is so valid is because we'd be back above this neckline of the head and shoulders. We'd be above the 618 finally, and we would be out of this market structure of highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And, we haven't put in that lower low yet. I'm expecting that lower low to come in play at 969. That has not changed. Nothing, in my opinion, has changed. We are still putting in lower highs today. I would be willing to admit, the market structure is turning back bullish once 1277 has been taken out. Until that happens, I have to go with my gut feeling. I have to look at the market objectively and, realize that we're in a steep downtrend right now. Like there's really no way you can say that we're in an uptrend. Sure, you can say it in the long term from where we listed down here. You can say we've got a low, higher low, and higher low, but I think the market is really dragging us down to this level. Now, let's look at the RSI and the MFI and see what they're saying. Now, the RSI and the MFI, they look really good actually. I mean, they're telling a slightly different story to the squeeze momentum and the EMA ribbons, which are saying that, in my opinion, we need to come down to 969. But the MFI and the RSI, these are in a very healthy uptrend. You can see that we've got a plethora of lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and we're gradually making these peaks higher and higher every time we go. Nonetheless, I'm looking at this downtrend objectively. I think the most logical thing to run off is these momentum indicators while we are on these smaller time frames. And from what I can see, we haven't come down to our price target of this head and shoulders pattern. We've had a daily rejection from the 618. So I think the nail in the coffin that we'd be coming down to 969 would be another daily close below 1150. So keep your eyes on 1150. In the next, well, it's 2 hours for me, but if you're in the US, it might be 6 hours. I'd run off the US time, so by the time I've uploaded this, it will be about 5 hours. Keep your eyes on the daily close. If we have a strong impulse above 1150, while nothing has changed in the long term, in the short term, we could be coming up to take out this 1279. But until we take out 1279, that is my moon line. I cannot get bullish until we take out that line. That is all I see for ApeCoin. I'm still expecting these lower price targets, I mean, we're still down from the region where I took profit. I'm looking to buy my bags back for cheaper. I think ApeCoin is a good long-term project. Nonetheless, I am a trader. I trade, if you look on the right side of my screen, if you only look at my ApeCoin videos, if this is your first time on my channel, you can see all the altcoins I cover. I cover maybe 25 to 30 different altcoins. I post approximately maybe 10 videos a day, sometimes a lot more. And I'm really in and out of these altcoins looking for good market opportunities. I'm not looking to hodl every single altcoin that I cover. That's not what my channel's about. I like making swing trades, and right now the market structure is telling me we are still in a very, very decisive downtrend. So 1150, keep your eyes on it. Daily close below, we could be coming back down to 969. If we have a strong push above 1150, once again, nothing has changed for me until we take out this 1280 approximate region at the 0.5 Fibonacci, but it would be starting to look good if we had a daily close above 1150. If we do close above 1150, I may potentially make a update video for you tomorrow and let you know that I am buying back my ApeCoin for approximately 7% cheaper. That is saving a lot of money. If you're working with a lot of margin, a lot of capital, a 7% save from this downtrend could be very, very nice, especially if you believe in ApeCoin in the long term. Accumulating another 7% ape before, in my opinion, we come out and take the all-time high, which from where I could potentially be looking to buy my bags back, could be another 57% trade. So like I said, I'm in and out of these markets. I'm always looking for opportunities. I'm willing to, potentially consider reaccumulating if we do hop over 1150 on a daily close, but I'd need to see the daily close first. Like, until that happens, I can't get too bullish because this is still technically a lower high. So that is all I see for Ape. Best of luck. Once again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion. And yeah, cowboy out. Peace.